are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. If you ever dreamed of living that peaceful lakefront lifestyle without draining your savings, then you're going to love what we're diving into today. We're talking about Arkansas lake living on a budget. Yes, it's absolutely possible, and I'm going to show you how. So grab a cup of coffee, settle in, and let's get started. Let's start out by busting a myth. A lot of people hear living by a lake and instantly picture luxury mansions with a price tag to match. And sure, those do exist even here in Horseshoe Bend and Cherokee Village. But Arkansas is home to some hidden gems where living by a lake is totally within reach, even if you're working with a modest budget. We're going to break down exactly where to look, what to expect, and how to make smart choices to stretch your dollar further. First off, let's talk about why Arkansas is such a great choice for affordably living by a lake. The natural state is packed with clean, scenic lakes, from massive ones like both Shoals and Norfolk, or smaller, quieter spots like Crown Lake right here in Horseshoe Bend. Not only do you get breathtaking views, but the cost of living here is lower than the national average. Property taxes? Way below national average and what you pay in most states, and utilities are affordable. And you're not sacrificing lifestyle, you're gaining peace, nature, and a built-in sense of community. You're going to have way more privacy here too because there's much undeveloped land right next to many of these lakefront properties. Finding hidden deals can definitely be done on Arkansas lakefront property, and this is of course where it gets a lot of fun when you're doing the searching. If you are house hunting, don't just look for lakefront. You need to check out waterfront, lake access, lake view, near the lake. And in my opinion, in Cherokee Village and Horseshoe Bend, almost every home is near the lake, so it depends on what your definition is. Properties just one street away from the shoreline often come at a much lower price, but still give you that lakeside feel and often have a great lake view. Plus, the taxes are going to be lower just because you're off of the lake, in Cherokee Village anyway, because of the SID fees. You can also find plenty of fixer-uppers. Now, most of the homes in our area were built in the late 70s, so you're definitely going to find things that are outdated. You're also going to find things that are updated, but you're going to pay for it. You can definitely turn something into an outdated home with a little fixing up and a little elbow grease and a little TLC. It could become your perfect lake retreat because you did the improvements and made it the way that you want. And you can definitely do some budget-friendly upgrades, especially if the homes that are needing the upgrades and the TLC are cosmetic, not structural issues or major issues like a roof or a septic. So you definitely want to keep an eye out for something that's just outdated because most often that's going to be priced lower because they know that it's not move-in ready. There's definitely financing options out there, even for unconventional properties like the foreclosures or things that need some upgrades. There are construction loans that you can get if it's anything major, or there's things like the FHA 403k loan that you can get the purchase price plus improvements that you plan to do to the property. So just because you have to get a loan doesn't mean that you are ruled out on these home improvement projects. One of the best things about these lake communities like Cherokee Village and Horseshoe Bend are the built-in perks that come with your home purchase. We're talking about private lake access, walking trails, golf courses, community centers, pools. These are amenities that would cost a fortune in other areas. Even down in Hot Springs, Arkansas, you're going to have to pay even way more than what you pay here for those. But they are part of the package. Once you buy property in any of these towns, you're going to have access to these amenities just by being a property owner. Now, the lakes in Cherokee Village are private, and they keep changing the golf courses. I think the South Golf Course is private and the North Golf Course is public, and the lakes in Horseshoe Bend are not. But you do have access and discounts to certain amenities by being a property owner. So whether you are retiring or relocating, using it as a second home, because then these amenities are available to the people that are renting or staying nightly in your home, these extras add serious value because you're not paying extra for them. Maybe a little bit in the taxes, but when you compare it to many other areas that have amenities like this, it's a huge savings. Living on the lake doesn't look good just on a postcard. It's a lifestyle. And here's the best part, that lifestyle doesn't have to cost you. There are so many free things to do here. You got, of course, the water, fishing, swimming, kayaking. There's trails to go hiking on. It does cost to go golfing, but you do get a discount if you're a property owner. Plus, you can just sit in the backyard and soak up the sun, sit on your deck and have a cup of coffee. You certainly don't need a yacht or a fancy boat, but you can if you want to. You can have a simple kayak or a paddle boat that gets you out on the water without a huge upkeep or expense. Or if you want to pay just a little bit, you can rent the bigger boats, the pontoon boat or the speedboat, from some of the marinas. And there's most of the lakes in the areas are no-wake lakes. And so the kayaks, sailboats, canoes are perfect for those lakes because you can do more of the swimming and the fishing and the floating. But on the other hand, the bigger lakes, Thunderbird, Crown, and Omaha, are for that speedboating and tubing and skiing, so you can get a little bit of both in the towns that you come to in our area. But the real luxury is just having that lake in your backyard. So after all this talk about ways to save money on lake homes, let's talk about what you can actually buy. Now, Cherokee Village, it's still possible to find lakefront homes starting under $200,000, and you can sometimes find things under that depending on the size and the location and adjoining lots. That one that I know is on the market for right around $200,000, actually the house sits across the street and it comes with a lakefront lot, so you have a great view, you have the access, but you're just a little bit farther away. Now there is in our area Lakeview homes starting around $130,000. That's down in Hardy, but it's only a 1-bedroom, 1-bath cabin, which might be good enough for a vacation home. On the other end, Horseshoe Bend starts out a little higher for a lakefront home at about $350,000. And generally Horseshoe Bend homes do run higher because Crown Lake is the biggest lake, and that one is biggest lake in our Tri-County area. Now, if a manufactured home meets your need, you can find a lakefront home for only $99,000 in Hardy right now, but it needs some work. Now compare that to lake properties in other states where you need double or triple that to even get started, and you can see that it is a deal here. Now in our Tri-County area, like I said, you can start as low as $100,000 for a lakefront home and go up all the way to $1 million for a large home in Horseshoe Bend. Those homes are generally on the market for about 150 days, so that's about 5 months. So that is probably a little longer than the national average. And again, supply and demand is going to come into play here. And if you're okay with a Lakeview home, then you're going to have a range anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000. And now that Lakeview is, a bigger home. It has a 2-car garage. But these Lakeview homes do sell a little bit quicker, closer to 3 or 4 months on the market. So I'm sure you want to see what some of these actually look at. And I do have a playlist of home and neighborhood tours in Cherokee Village and Horseshoe Bend, and so you can get a feel for what's out there, the different styles of home, the neighborhoods, and you can see definitely some of the lakes and how clear the waters are, and the area amenities like the golf courses and things like that. So whether you're just dreaming for now or actively house hunting, these tours will open your eyes to the possibilities in our area. So make sure that you check out this playlist once you finish watching this video. Owning a lake home doesn't stop at the purchase price. Let's talk about keeping them budget friendly over time, over the life of you owning the home. You want to make sure that you stick to energy efficient upgrades, including appliances or even things like heat and air, or just doing things to make sure that your budget stays low. You can also learn a lot of skills, especially on YouTube, for home maintenance. Just paying that service fee for somebody to come out when it's something that you can take care of yourself will save you a lot. And also keep in mind what the community already offers, how much you can save by not traveling and using your lake home as a great place to staycation. So if you'd be surprised how much you can save just by planning smart and thinking long term. Lake life in Arkansas isn't just for the wealthy, it's for anyone who's willing to think a little creatively and focus on what really matters: peace, nature, space to breathe. If you're looking for a lifestyle that feels like a vacation every day without blowing your budget, this might just be your sign. Now, if you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that like button and share it with someone who's dreaming about that lake life too. And make sure to watch this playlist to see some of our neighborhoods and homes in the area. Thanks for watching and have a blessed day.